See my hair. I need a hat.
You gotta scoot over. You gotta scoot over. Welcome to coffee time. Everybody grab their cups, sit down, we're gonna talk. You can see if we can figure out how to use that tablet. Tonight we're gonna discuss men, husbands, and I've interviewed a few today. Boy, did you get it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, go for it. Live?
No,
Did you
I
get
think
live?
it's go live. I can see
Oh,
that.
geez.
You're still on.
Are you sure? All right.
Yeah, you're still on.
Okay, we're having technical difficulty. We're going to get this all together. All right. So, anyway,
I'm gonna watch this for comments.
Brittany and Quentin's watching. Hey, everybody. Hello, doll. There's Nikki.
Hey, Nikki.
Okay. Tonight we're going to talk about husbands and their role in the marriage, and tomorrow night, possibly the wives. But we got a lot to say. I interviewed about 7 men today, and you'd be amazed at what their answers were. What would you like for your wife to do for you? And I'm not talking about sex, but they were really in tune with me. And one of them said he just wanted some clean socks, while another one said he wants his wife to trust him. Another one said that they have equal partnership. When he's down, she picks him up and lifts him up, and when she's down, he lifts her up. And they seem to have it together pretty well. And one man said, I just want my wife to appreciate a hardworking man. And then another one said that all men are as little boys grown up in a big body. That's the first thing you learn, and women are too, really. I mean, you got a lot of, when you're young, you've got a lot of a youth left, and that carries on from your childhood. But another man, two men told me that they would like for their wives to work while they're at work. And so, let's see what the Word of God says about
Work in the home while they're
work in
at
the home.
Right.
Yeah, working in the home. Because that's really easy to sit down and watch TV. You're not even on there, Tracy. How come?
I am.
That's really easy for women to sit around and eat bonbons and let the kids play, and then the last 30 minutes before their husband gets home, then they'll get up and scurry around, scamper around, and pick up stuff and hide it and whatever. That's cheating. We should have turned off my notifications. Nikki and Jeanette quit texting. I forgot to turn off my notifications. Well, anyway, thank you for that, Nikki. We're glad too. Anyway, they had some good. One man just said, "I just want my wife to show me that she loves me." And I thought, well, yeah, I'm asking you, how do you want her to show you that she loves you? But a lot of times they just want some attention. And I know that, it's like having a big kid sometimes, but the truth is they are men and they're to be honored by their wives. They have an important role in the kingdom of God.
Absolutely.
Look up those scriptures, Tracy. I had those pulled up on my phone. It's type in just scriptures for husbands, about the husbands, scriptures about husbands. But anyway, they are very important. And I'll tell you what, if you've ever been married and you lose your husband, it is a nightmare. You just feel like somebody ripped your heart out, but they didn't completely rip it out because it still hurts. And it's it's very painful. So you need to love each other while you got each other, and you never know when, that's going to happen. But the husband is the head of the house. He is the head of the house. And that's a good thing, because women probably have a tendency to think with their emotions more than they do with their head. We just do. We just like to do that. And but God gives women their duties. In Proverbs 31, it tells how a woman should be. But when men go to work and work hard, and they do physically work harder than women, but sometimes they do. But they really do want to be appreciated and loved and cared for, and they need that attention. And if you wait till your husband's home and then you try to get your work done and all that, that just hurts them. They've waited all day to be with you, and then you're busy, and that's not right. I mean, we got to love them, and we got to take care of them, because they'll last longer, because they're going to wear out before you do. And I wonder how that happens, because women can work hard too. I mean, they do, but usually, as a rule, a man goes first. But try to remember that. Did you find something?
Yeah, but I don't know. This is not King James Version.
That's okay.
I don't know what version.
Tracy's going to read us some scripture.
Which one you want? Husbands love your wives.
Well, all of them.
Okay. Okay, so the first one. Is it going to come up? I guess that's all of it.
That's all of it.
Husbands, love your wives and do not be harsh with them. That's the first one. Second one is 1 Peter. Oh, that was Colossians 3:19. The second verse I have here is 1 Peter 3:7. Likewise, husbands, live with your wives in an understanding way, showing honor to the woman as the weaker vessel, since they are heirs with you of the grace of life, so that your prayers may not be hindered.
Whoa, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Tracy, what do you think about that scripture?
I think they better do what it says if they want God to answer their prayers.
They have to be in tune with each other, don't they?
Yes.
Because if you're mad at your wife or husband, oh no, and you don't ask for, make things right between them, and you go to God, it's just they're saying that, your prayers won't be answered. I mean, a union of marriage is what Christ compares us, and Him. Our relationship, it's like a marriage, and it's real important. What else you got?
Okay, and Ephesians 5:28 says, in the same way, husbands should love their wives as their own bodies. He who loves his wife loves himself. And then, and it says, Ephesians 5:31, therefore a man shall leave his father and mother, and hold fast to his wife, and the two shall become one flesh. In verse 33, it says, however, let each one of you love his wife as himself, and let the wife see that she respects her husband. And then we go to 1 Corinthians 11. I want you to understand that the head of every man is Christ. The head of a wife is her husband, and the head of Christ is God. And so, there, my friends, is
that's the word.
That's the pecking order.
That's it. That's it. That is it.
Right.
So, Christ is the head. See if we can get on that live. Because if we can, that battery might not wear out. It might wear out, might not. But yes, and tomorrow night, if the Lord allows, we're going to be talking to the wives, which we know more about than we do the husbands. I don't know how a husband, I don't know how they feel, but I would think, now the guys I talked to today, one of them said he wanted respect. Another one said he wanted to be trusted. Another one said he wanted his wife to get her work done during the day so she could be with him. And another one said he wanted his wife to work while he was at work. And you've got to do that. I remember the day John died, the day before he went in the hospital, he said he was going to work 12 hours. And I thought, I wonder what my house would look like if I worked 12 hours. And I literally did. I tore into that house. I had 3 levels on it, and I started really doing that. I bleached and washed and did everything, and it felt good. I got some exercise, but I mean, I really did work like he was working, and I thought, that at that time in my life, there was like 2 years that after the kids had gone and I'd quit my job and we depended on God to bless us, and he did. And I did the yard. I did everything but change the oil. So it's very important that you do these things and show your husband that you're not taking him for granted, sending him out the door to work all day and be away from the refrigerator. He don't have access to, eating anytime he wants or sitting down and watching TV. Do it as a job. And if you do that as a job every day, by the end of the day, you will have your house in tip-top shape, your children taken care of, and things will go smoother for you. You can spend some time with them because that's what they want. They come home to spend times with their wives and their children. They want to spend time with them, but especially their wives. Because before you guys got married, you were out with each other and you only had time to be together. You just wanted to be together and talk, and that's what they still want. That's what a man still wants. He wants you to be there for him. So men, you got a large responsibility that God's going to put you. He has put you over your home, and it's for you to make sure your family's fed spiritually. And if you're not doing it, shame on you. It's up to the mother to feed them physically, father to buy it, and women work nowadays, of course, a lot of women do. Share that load with your wife if she's out working. But Lucy's taking a nap. Anyway, it's real important, your role in the home. You are to protect your wife and your children, and you are like a seer. You can see things that's coming that they can't see. You can warn them of things that they might not listen, but wives listen to them. They know something. God is speaking to them. If they're Christians, if they're not Christians, pray for them. Pray, pray, pray without ceasing. Don't treat them like you're holier than thou, but love them like Christ loved us when we were still unsaved. And like he loved people in the Bible, he didn't come up and condemn them. He loved them into the kingdom of God. We got to remember that.
Yeah.
What do you think, Tracy?
I have had women in the past that I worked with and stuff say that they say that the Bible says, for you to love your husband as Christ loved the church, or obey your husband, he's the head of your house and all that, but their husbands weren't saved, so they didn't feel like that applied to them because they weren't saved.
Well, the Bible says, wives, obey your husband in everything. And if there's a problem with that, is if they're asking you to do something wrong or whatever, you go to God and you say, Lord, I'm your daughter. You're going to have to help me. You tell me to obey my husband in everything. And that's just the way it is. And that's between God and him. But you always, always honor your husband. You just are not going to it's going to tear the home down if you don't honor him. You have to honor him like the church does Christ. That's a lot of honor. And in return, he's supposed to love you like Christ does the church. So practice that. Start practicing that. Let us know how it's working for you. You know, yeah, there's going to be problems. The devil's going to discourage you. Don't give up. Do not give up. That's the main thing, isn't it, Tracy?
Yes, and live and show him Jesus.
And you.
Yes, and you.
Don't be self-righteous. Don't feel like, oh, he just don't get it. He just don't get it. Don't do that. Love them. Show them the love of God. Because the one without sin cast the first stone. Are they going to be perfect? No. Are you perfect? No. Do you handle their money like God tells a Proverbs woman to do, how she does? We're going to start on women tomorrow night. But right now, men, you are to be over your wives. You're their protector. You're their provider. And those are your two main responsibilities. And to make sure they're fed spiritually. And once you do that, God will bless the home when it lines up with the Word of God. He can bless that. But He's not, I don't know about blessing a mess. I don't know that God does that. But y'all really need to get in the Word of God. And fathers, I know this is difficult to do, but sit down and have devotion with your family. Teach them the Word of God. Because God's going to speak through you. Tracy just read us to where it's the father, and then the son, and then the husband, and then the wife. You still have a personal relationship with the Lord, wives. But that's how God works things. He just does. So that's what I would suggest. What do you got to say, Tracy?
I agree wholeheartedly. And I think if people look at their own hearts and search out their own salvation, that a lot of that will fall into place with the relationship that they're doing in their own life, what they're supposed to be doing, instead of pointing out what's wrong with the other partner.
Yeah.
So much.
Clean up your own back porch before you start cleaning off somebody else's. But these men, if you put a man down, if you, hey girls.
We talked about, last time when I was here, we talked about life and death being in the tongue.
That's good.
You have to speak life to whatever touches your life, your family, your husband, your job, whatever. You speak life to it. You don't tear it down.
That's right. Don't tear down a man. Do not do that.
You don't tear down anyone.
That's right.
Uplift them. You lift them up. You don't tear them down.
But you can either, behind every great man, they say there's a great woman. You know, there might be some truth to that. Because you can either tear your husband down or you can build him up. But, men, you have to be responsible for your family to feed them spiritually and make sure they're fed. If you bring them to the table and feed them, that's wonderful. But if you don't feed them spiritually, your work has been in vain. I mean, if they grow up and don't make it to heaven, what have you done? You've wasted your time. And, well, anyway.
That's your new boyfriend.
Alberena? I don't
Who
even
in the
know
world?
who that is. Dear Lord. But yes, everybody, we want you to do 3 things tonight. Girls, before you get back here tomorrow night. I want you to speak how you appreciate your husband and put your arms around him and love that man and kiss him in the morning before he goes to work, because you never know, the day may come when he doesn't make it back. And that's not impossible. Wrecks happen all the time. Things happen.
Yes.
Every day, don't take it for granted. Make sure he knows that his home is safe with you and his heart is safe with you. And you don't take him for granted. Things have already gone bad, then start doing this and turn them around. It'll turn it around, won't it, Tracy?
Mm-hmm. What's awkward, Missy?
Missy
Green.
Missy Green.
What's awkward?
We want to know what's awkward.
Yeah, we want to know what's awkward. We want to take the awkward and make it comfortable.
Missy Miller, we're going to get on y'all tomorrow night.
Yeah, tomorrow night.
Tonight, we're getting on to the men.
That's right.
And you know what, mister? You put your
Sniffing.
arms around, her in the morning. You put your arms around your wife, and you tell her how special she is, how pretty she is. And you know what? If you start feeding into your wife and telling her how beautiful she is, you watch a flower bloom.
That's
I'm
right.
not kidding you. I've seen it happen. I have seen it happen in my own life. Don't look at me now, but once upon a time. But
Right.
it takes people years to learn this. We're trying to help you get here really quick and not waste any time and have a wonderful, happy marriage. But that's what men want. And clean socks. Buster said. So just make sure you love them. You take care of them. Don't take them for granted. Don't put your husband down in front of people. Don't do that. That's disrespectful.
And husbands, don't put your wives down
That's right.
in front of people.
Build them up.
Don't put them down to them in front of people or not in front of people.
Right.
Don't put them down. Lift them up. If they're not what that you want them to be, then look at yourself. Look at your own actions.
Speak it into them.
That's right.
That's
right.
Absolutely.
Lucinda says not clean socks.
Matchable ones.
We know Mark keeps your socks clean for you, Lucinda.
But, you know, they were all, the main thing they all wanted was attention.
Yes, be the light.
Yes.
Be the light. Well, I'm not gonna do this because he won't do this, and somebody
Stop it
has
and
to
do
be
it.
the light.
That's it.
Exactly.
Do the right thing. And we shouldn't talk about our spouses to other people. That keep it between you and your husband. If you've got a best friend and you need to share something and she's a Christian and wants to pray with you and loves your marriage and loves your husband and wants y'all to be together, that's one thing. But boy, they will build you up and tear you down. A waggling tongue destroys its neighbor.
Brittany Carter says, ladies, talk about being a wife who believes when your spouse does not.
Amen.
Well, first of all, you're not supposed to be unequally yoked, but I made that mistake. Well,
Same.
it seemed like a mistake, but, you know, God can turn that around.
Yes, he did. He did.
That's
right.
a good one, Missy.
That's good.
God made women from a man's rib to stand beside, not from his feet to step up. That's right.
That's true. I'd say Eve was very beautiful and Adam was very handsome and they loved each other. And I'd say that, you know, when God laid him down and put him to sleep and took that rib, he knew he was missing something. And then he looks at her and he saw it in her. So it's a very special bond between a husband and wife. And it can't be broken. When you are married, it's like not only does your body's entwined, your spirit does. And
You become one.
you
the Bible
really
says you
become
become
one. That's true. You do. So be that person that builds your husband up. Oh, my husband's fantastic. He goes to work every day. He comes home. And you know what? I got up this morning and I worked and the house looked fabulous. The kids looked great. And we sent the kids off to play and we just sat down and hung out together, watched TV, whatever, prayed. You know, be building these men up. Be building your man up.
Hey, Samantha.
Hillary Campbell needs prayer. She's got a blood transfusion today, so
I'm praying for her.
Lord.
Hillary, Ronnie.
we are praying for her. Lord, in Jesus' name, touch Hillary's body. Amen. And there's so many people that need prayer. There's so many people that need Jesus. There's get your family in church, even if it's there's COVID going on. Well, I'm going to tell you what, Jimmy Swaggart's on all the time, and so is Charles Stanley, and so is Greg Laurie, and so is what's his name, Bernick or whatever.
I don't know. I just
There's all kinds of preachers on. I like
Hi, Samantha.
I like all kinds of preachers. But you don't have to sit there and not go to church, not attend church, have your little
Right.
service. Listen to a preacher.
That's what we do.
Yeah,
That's
we
what
sure
we
do. We do. We sure do. But we have church, by the way.
Yes.
Brother Harwood wanted us to invite everybody to church now.
Okay.
So if you know where Old Stage Auction is in Spring City, we're having church there. Tracy was gracious enough to donate her building to church time, and it's at 3 p.m. So
On
don't
Sunday
tell
afternoon. Sunday afternoon.
you can sleep in. And it's plenty big enough to get away from anybody if you're scared of COVID.
Right.
We're not, but
Hi, Chris Cranfield.
Hey.
And Sarah Howard Wallace.
That is
watching.
my little niece, and Becky, hey, darling. But yeah, listen, guys, you gotta love your husbands. Got to love them. Now, tomorrow night, I don't know if God will lay this on my heart or not, but today it was really about husbands. Yesterday was about children.
Happy is the man that findeth wisdom, and the man that getteth understanding.
That's right. To be wise and train up a child and do the right thing and love your wife. You watch your wife blossom like a beautiful butterfly or a flower when you start telling her she's beautiful. Start telling her, start complimenting her. And women, do your husband the same way. You
Find
tired of being...
something good.
Just start speaking it in existence. It works. I don't know how much weight one time doing that. John talking to me sweet, and I started exercising. I get up and exercise with praise and worship the Lord, and it's a wonderful time that God's given you if you're able to stay home with children. If you're not, then I understand where you're coming from. But if you're there and you don't have to work, boy, you need to pray over your family. God's got a lot of things for you to do, but you just be an obedient, faithful wife. And I love y'all. I'm so glad you joined us for coffee time. And we're going to be back here tomorrow night. And we're trying to get all this worked out to where we can both fit in a screen. And, and make it last longer. We don't want to bore y'all, but 30 minutes is pretty good. But, yeah, tomorrow we'll be more familiar with the territory if that's what God wants me to talk about. Hey, Becky, I love you. Build them up, girl. Build those men up. If you don't, there's another woman out there. The devil's out there on the street. Don't think he's not. Absolutely. The devil's out there for women and men. And I'm telling you, you love your spouse. You love them. Take care of them. Honor them. Treat those men like they are royalty, because they are, and watch them turn around and start treating you the same way. It may take a while. Do it. Try it. I dare you. I challenge you to try it. Absolutely. Love these men. They're just big boys, and they need you to be everything to them. They need you to stand there and hold them up when they're down and the world's beat them up, because they go out in this world. Bless your heart. Sarah needs prayer for her husband. He's going through a difficult time. And Sarah, you honor him and speak good things over him, and God will take care of that situation. Never stop blessing your marriage in prayer. Pray over your husband. Pray over him. And you know what? I love y'all, and we're going to see you tomorrow night. Tracy, coming back tomorrow night?
It's tomorrow, Friday.
Friday. We'll be here. We're going to set things up so you can actually see both of us on the screen. And tomorrow night's going to be really funny because we're more than likely going to be talking about women. So it's something we know about. All of us girls. Mark's watching.
Hey, Mark.
We told Lucinda to start matching up your socks. But yes.
She said you can't wear socks. I'm teasing.
Mark is awesome. Mark has lost weight. He's a nice guy. Mm-hmm. Girl, Lucinda, you got it made, girl. He loves you.
See this in Proverbs, it says
Corey's.
that speaks life to his wife. The tongue has the power of life and death. We husbands are therefore, or y'all husbands, are therefore called to choose every word, every single one carefully. I tell you, on the day of judgment, people will give account for every careless word they speak. Oh, Lord Jesus, forgive me.
Amen. Me
For
too.
by your words you will be justified, and by your words you will be condemned. This includes words when we're tired, when we're angry, when we're frustrated, when we're hurt or disappointed.
And Corey said something a while ago that made a lot of sense. He said you honor God when you honor your spouse. You honor God.
You put your glasses on and read that.
And happy birthday, sir, to whoever's birthday it is. Whose birthday is it? What do you want? Our bodies aren't just our own. On the day we get married, they also belong to our wives, which means we need to preserve a brain that values her beauty. Go ahead, Tracy.
Which enjoins us to resist comparing our wives to pornographic images or other women walking down the street. It means when we make love, we put her pleasure at the center of every experience.
We're going there.
And that we preserve enough energy to be able to engage in sexual relations. So you men don't work too hard. Gotta save some energy. It means we spend time and thought thinking up how to please her. It also means we try to take care of our own bodies, since they're the only ones our wives are biblically allowed to make love to. Offering a body and brain that's broken down due to neglect or indulgence. I'm not talking about age or disease here. It's like feasting at a restaurant and giving our wives the option of licking the plate. That's not generous. That's gross.
Okay, here. All right, we're going to go there. We're going to go to the sex thing. Okay, we're just going to do it. Okay. I beat around the bush. We're going to have to bring this out because
We don't beat around the bush.
This is what men want. Take you a nap. Get yourself up. Women have to have naps during the day. I'm sorry, guys, they do. Take care of your man. John said, which he probably can't read if he was here, he might not. Men need sex every 2 to 3 days. Now, I want you men out there to just comment on that. Every 2 to 3 days. Women, every 2 to 3 weeks. No. I don't know.
Or never.
Or all the time. I mean, you know.
I don't know.
Well,
there might be something wrong with me. I don't know.
No, there's not. Well, you know.
Lord have, Corey said, Lord have mercy.
Now, Corey, we ain't talking
are being
about
real.
you or Matthew or Randy or none of my son-in-laws. We're talking to the rest of these guys. But the truth is, your husband has a sexual appetite that possibly you don't know about, that you don't have. And you better take care of it, sister. I'm telling you the truth. You better take care of business.
And we don't want to hear no whining, Mark. It's not easy when you're a truck driver.
No, it's not. So you need a babysitter one night a week.
That's right.
And make old Lucinda do her thing.
That's right. But because we're talking about husbands, this is talking about husbands.
That's right. It's talking
thinking
about husbands.
of how to please her. And if you please your wife, then she's going to want to, I think a wife's heart is serving, don't you?
Yes,
And I think that's
that's the right thing to do.
Yeah, that's the right thing to do. And if they do treat their wives, love their wives as Christ loved the church, then they'd be more willing
That's
to
right.
serve. But if they don't, you be like I said before.
Where's ties in the mail?
Do what?
Just send them to Community Bank.
Corey said, my tithe is in the mail.
We're doing this for Jesus now.
Justine said, I wish you could see Melody's face right now.
Oh, bless her heart. I know this is hard, but listen, guys.
But it's true.
Women, do you remember that song, Tracy, Stand By Your Man by Tammy Wynette?
Yes.
Y'all need to look that up, and
That's
you need
right.
to listen to it.
Yeah.
And then you need to listen to Loretta Lynn, You Ain't Woman Enough to Take My Man.
That's it.
Because I'm telling you, the devil wants to take your man, and the devil wants men to take your wives. He will put
You're
something
right,
out there
Matthew.
that's so nice.
You're absolutely right, Matthew.
Sex is God approved. Yeah, it is.
It is.
But you not
absolutely.
only entwine your bodies, you actually entwine your souls. That's why God does not want us having sex outside of marriage, because it literally messes with our head and our mind and our bodies.
And then listen.
And then
I gotta have
listen
some
before-
coffee on that one. Oh man.
And what is that? The one where
Carrie Underwood.
Carrie Underwood she gets the baseball bat?
Yeah.
Oh Lord in heaven!
Then when you get old, you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, when you're widow, it's like okay, whatever, it's done. But listen, guys, y'all have to do these things. We are really loving y'all, and we want to teach you
Really wanna
the admonition of
change.
God. You want to change your marriage? Change. You change.
That's it.
Even
You
if
change,
they
your
don't.
marriage will change.
Keep sowing the seeds. It's quiet in this church.
And ain't nobody shouting tonight.
Well, yeah. And the other WAP, what? Matthew, OMG, and the other WAP too. What does that mean?
And the what?
I don't know.
Let me see what he said.
WAP. Maybe he's misspelled something.
And the other WAP too.
We did go there. We did
Yes.
because we had to. We have to tell you women, you know, quit holding back on your husband. And husbands, don't hold back on your wives. Your body belongs to her, and her
But
body
treat
belongs
them
to
with
you.
respect.
Respect it, but that y'all belong to each other. You belong to each other.
Look up the song.
Matthew
WAP.
says hallelujah. Corey said that.
Please stop saying.
WAP. What's WAP?
What
Is that
is
like
that?
walk? What? Don't look,
Don't look it up.
live,
Live,
please.
Are y'all putting ugly stuff on there? Because y'all ain't too big for us to whip.
I got some hickory switches out
That's
back.
right.
I'm coming after you,
I'm
Matt.
going to use them. And I got a flip-flop on right now.
We ain't afraid to use it. But now listen, I didn't want to go to the sex thing tonight, but I'm going to tell you something. If you don't do it, somebody else is standing there that will.
And something else.
You better
man.
do it. Quit being a fuddy-duddy, as John used to call me. Me and Jerry.
But this also says, love her out of reverence for God.
That's right.
Declaring that we are God's children, which means your wife is God's daughter.
That's right. And your husband's God's son, adopted son. Jesus is the only begotten son. But we are children of God, and he wants to make us so special and our marriage so special. But it's up to us to do it his way, follow him.
Oh, it's worship and praise is what means.
Oh,
I don't know. God, I don't know. That's what Corey said. He's probably
See you
lying
later,
to us.
Lord.
He's probably
This will
lying
go
to us
back.
so we won't look it
Yeah.
up. Anyway, I'm worshiping and praising 7 days a week, you heathens.
There you go. There you go.
Good for you.
But you know what? What does that mean? This will go viral now, Missy. What are you talking about? Well, we don't care to go viral as long as we don't get a virus.
No, we don't. We don't care.
What's all
And
about?
I don't. Now, I'm just going to say that I don't know if this, I don't have any statistics or anything,
Go
but
ahead,
I
Tracy.
do not have one Christian friend who is a female that wants to be treated like a hoe. You have to treat your wife with respect.
I know, but let me tell you what my grandmother told me. Fanny Mama said this, Tracy.
I know.
She said
I know what she
wants. She said a man wants a lady in the living room,
Right.
a wild woman in the bedroom, and a cook in the kitchen. And that's all I'm going to say about that. But yes, you have to do some
But
things.
you have to show respect.
You do have to show respect. But it's all right because y'all work that out between yourselves. We don't care.
Right.
We don't want to know nothing about it. Blah, 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 blah. But we do want this. We want y'all to love each other. Tracy Corey said, I can't. What can't y'all do?
What if we're in trouble? Brother Harwood's calling us. We might be in trouble. I'm not sure.
Well, anyways, 3 o'clock Sunday. I want to see y'all there because you know what? We got a fabulous preacher. And we believe in the power of the Holy Spirit there. We believe in praying. You come on up there. We'll pray for you. We
I'm
love
gonna
you.
read 1 Corinthians 13.
And you said knew it was coming. Good word, Mom. Well, you know, I don't know. Which word was good? The Fanny Mama's words? I don't know.
They were all good. It's all good.
It's all good.
Biblical love is not sentimental or emotional. It's gritty and it's specific. Missy Hampton says, that's why marriages don't last anymore. I'm truly thankful to God I have the best husband ever. Well,
She
God bless
has
you.
a good husband.
Good.
David is awesome. David is an awesome guy.
1
She's
Corinthians 13 tells you all about love. It's patient. Men should be patient with their wives. Love is kind. We're talking about men tonight. That's why I'm pointing
That's
fingers
right.
at
That's
men.
why we're doing that.
Tomorrow night is for the women. Of course, Cherry's got a little bit on the women tonight, but
Yeah.
anyway.
Everybody needs love.
Men, ask
Everybody.
yourself, when's the last time you've done something for your wife out of sheer kindness and not to get something in return? Love isn't proud. Men, do we exalt ourselves over our wives or act like servants? Do you make your wife serve you, or do you serve her? Or I'm just
It
putting
should
this
be
out there for
mutual.
you to ask yourself this. Love doesn't dishonor others. How do we talk about our wives when we're not with them? Love isn't self-seeking. Men are more focused on what we're getting out of men. Are we more focused on what we're getting out of the marriage than what we're giving? Love isn't easily angered. Do your wives feel safe and cherished in our gentle love? Love keeps no record of wrongs. Do